We can't let this story go away. A career criminal black man murdered a beautiful white girl. She was a Ukrainian refugee, and she was murdered in the United States of America for being white. The mainstream media and the left won't touch this story because there's absolutely zero way for them to spin it. Never forget this moment. This is a crazy moment, and I hope that we do not forget it because it's crucial, man. Like, this story should never go away. Never. We should make this story 10 times bigger than the George Floyd story because it is far more. First of all, it's not even remotely close to which one is more important. A career criminal who overdosed, versus this. But the mainstream's going to do everything they can to bury this. I am glad that everybody that matters is covering it now. Megyn Kelly is actually covering this story. We're going to listen to this. And then there's a new development potentially to this story that we're going to talk about.
I want to bring the audience up to speed on the facts around it. So something terrible happened in Charlotte, North Carolina. Undoubtedly, most of the audience has heard about it now because if you're listening to this show, you have the right news sources. It's something that happened a couple of weeks ago, but it just hit the press. You wouldn't know anything about it if you solely read or watched legacy media outlets. Okay, nothing. The young woman's name is Irina Zarutska. And this young woman was 23 years old. She was born in Kyiv, Ukraine. And she came to the United States in 2022 with her family trying to seek a better life. They were fleeing the war that Vladimir Putin unleashed on the Ukraine. And she was murdered here in Charlotte, North Carolina on August 22nd on her way home from a job she had obtained at a local pizzeria. Now, this woman is absolutely stunning. She looks like Marilyn Monroe to me. She could have been modeling. She could have been doing anything to make money, but she took a job at a local pizzeria and was showing up doing shift work, just trying to pay her bills and make her way in the United States quietly and without much fanfare. And then this past Friday, surveillance video was released showing her being stabbed to death by a man with a long criminal rap.
Black man. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, Megyn, what are you doing? Don't pander. But she's not actually pandering because she addresses it later. But I still think that if the mainstream wants to play by these rules, then we play by their rules.
Sheet and multiple encounters with the criminal justice system. That video was released to local news outlets. We're going to walk you through it and the timeline of how things unfolded. The suspect's name is DeCarlos Brown Jr. He's 34. Listening audience, we're showing the video here. He's in a red hoodie sweatshirt. He's a black man with long black dreads. He was on the train first, sitting with no one in front of him, next to him, or behind him. He is not seen on the video having any interaction with any other riders, just sitting alone, but looking a little agitated at times. At the next stop, Zarutska boards the train. She is a white woman with blonde hair, and she's in her pizzeria uniform wearing a baseball cap. She sits in the row right in front of Brown. She has her phone with her and headphones in her ears. Just a side note, honestly, like in today's day and age, it's dangerous to have the headphones in and not know what's going on behind you. I'm sorry to say it, and I'm not blaming her in any way, of course, but just as a safety measure, just don't do that. You just don't know. I'm sorry, but there's too much crime in America right now to do that.
The fact that she's not bothering a fucking soul. She's not doing anything. Do you know what her crime is in the eyes of this piece of shit? Her crime is that she's white. That's it.
Your ears open so you know what's happening about you. Unfortunately, that's our reality. She's minding her own business. There's no interaction between the two of them whatsoever. They ride along for another 4 minutes with nothing happening. Then at 9:50 p.m., Brown is seen reaching into his hoodie, pulling out a pocket knife, a small pocket knife. This is zoomed in video, courtesy of the local CBS outlet. You're seeing him unfold it. And you see him unfolding the knife, but no one notices a thing. Out of nowhere, truly, it seems like it's out of nowhere, Brown then stands up. He pulls his arm back as far as it can go to gain force. And from behind, with the young woman completely unaware of what was about to happen to her, he begins stabbing her, including 3 times, at least once, directly into the neck. She did not stand a chance. She had no opportunity to defend herself. She clearly had no idea she was in danger at all. According to a local reporter who saw the full footage, Zarutska immediately grabs her neck and looks at the suspect as he walks away. The local news outlets, which received the video from the transit authority, did not release to the public the moment of the attack or what happens in this section immediately after, which honestly, I don't understand. It's not their job to protect us from the facts. If you want to say, we on the CBS Evening News aren't going to show you the exact moment of violence, that's an editorial call. But for all of the news outlets to not release it at all is strange to me. It's an incident that happened, and the specifics of it may matter. And we actually had a hard time at getting our hands on the full video. Now, it's unclear if riders around the victim even noticed or saw the knifing. Again, everyone's on their phones. No one's paying attention, and most of these people appear to have headphones on. I get it. You want to zone out. You don't want people talking to you. You kind of want to do your own thing. But it's truly a safety measure to have your headphones off and be able to listen and hear what's going on around you in these public transit vehicles. The local CBS affiliate reports one passenger did react, others followed, but we don't see exactly how it unfolded, the reaction. We are shown Brown's actions after the attack. Now, the whole thing goes down in 30 seconds, so this guy has got to be not long after. He walks up to a train door. You see blood dripping onto the floor, apparently from the knife, which is still on him. Some riders notice the blood, but it appears they really have no idea that an attack just happened.
It's such a weird dynamic. This whole thing is so weird. And how people were nonchalantly just being like, oh, there's blood dripping. Like, I don't know, man. I guess a lot of people keep their head down, have headphones on, they're on public transportation, they're trying to zone out. I get it, but it's very strange. It's really freaking weird.
Brown then takes off the red hoodie. He appears to wrap the bloody knife up inside the hoodie, and Brown is then shown leaving the train. Per local CBS, he left the train again about 30 seconds after the knife attack. That's how quickly this whole thing went down. And seconds after Brown leaves the train, you do hear someone far off in the background scream, "Oh my God," and scream the F word. Here's that moment. It certainly sounds like somebody's found the victim. Someone did call law enforcement. Spectrum News in Charlotte reporting transit security guards were on the train at the time of the attack, but in the car just ahead of Zarutska's when she was attacked. Brown was arrested a short time later. You're not going to be surprised to hear the guy's got 14 previous court cases in Mecklenburg County, which includes Charlotte. He was sent to prison in 2015 for robbery with a dangerous weapon, but was released a year early in 2020. This past January, he was arrested for misuse of the 911 system. And here's where things get interesting. During that incident, Brown told police he had man-made material inside his body that was controlling him. Per the ABC local outlet in Charlotte, a magistrate judge allowed Brown to be released from jail without paying anything on the written promise that he would show up to his next court appearance. Then in July, another judge ordered a mental health evaluation, but again, he was allowed to be out on the streets. He clearly was not right in the head. And you had not one, but two judges recently, a month before the murder, send him back out there. Go ahead, right back out there.
And here's what's hilarious is the governor right here of North Carolina releases a statement. In his statement, he says, "We need more cops." Are you kidding me? I tweeted this, "We need more cops," quotation marks. The black dude that murdered her was arrested 14 fucking times, and y'all let him walk every time. Fuck you. And he is getting ratioed on that tweet big time.
There are so many angles to this story. It's an absolute disgrace that the national media remains silent about this. Political news outlet Axios even has the gall to blame MAGA Republicans for covering it. They're upset about the numerous surveillance cameras in America now that happen to catch these incidents so that the MAGA Republicans can turn them into an issue. That's what they see this story about. I mean, guys, Rich and Charlie, remain with me.
Now, here's what the new developments are. I just wanted to set the table for some people that may not be aware of this. And then, of course, this really got a ton of traction over the weekend. Mainstream media has been completely silent. Democrats have been completely silent. People with blockbuster video flags in their bios have been completely silent. But MAGA has been very vocal about it because it is a hate crime. It's disgusting, and it is true racism to a T. So now we've got a new development, and I don't know if this is legit or not, but when I saw Andy No tweet it out, I was like, okay, let's see here. So right here, Andy No says, I didn't notice until now that the man accused of stabbing and killing the Ukrainian woman in Charlotte, North Carolina said on camera, I got that white girl while walking around with her blood dripping from his knife. Nobody reacts on the train, reflecting how Americans are used to urban ultraviolence. So here, I have not listened to this, okay? I have not listened to this clip. So we're going to listen to it together. I'm going to turn it up as loud as I can at 35 seconds. Okay, at 35 seconds. That's what we're listening for. If that is not altered footage, that is 100% what he's saying right there. One more time. Listen very, very closely. Now, all of these dumb motherfuckers on Twitter have been asking me for, there's your evidence. What else do you need? What a fucking piece of shit. What an absolute piece of shit. But yeah, so this is a whole new twist on this, man, because this makes it even worse because the media has not wanted to touch this story. This is a new development, an all new development. The media certainly doesn't want to touch this shit. I mean, absolutely doesn't want to touch it. And this right here sends it to a whole different stratosphere. They haven't already wanted to touch this story because it goes against every single narrative, every single one of their fucking narratives. Now, when you add, if this is in fact not altered, and I have to put that out there, if this is not altered, then guess what? Destroys them even more now. So I do want to say if it's not altered, because I have no idea. This is a thing on Twitter that you always have to be worried about. So if that is not altered footage, that is a game changer. Randy Fine is the guy who said something like when he shook Netflix Yahoo's hand or some bullshit like that, that he's not washing his hands until he sees his kids or some weird shit like that. If you guys remember that, okay? A fucking weirdo, all right? But forgetting all that, what he says right here, Randy Fine of Florida says he will introduce legislation aimed at holding judges accountable for releasing violent repeat offenders who then commit new crimes. Fine specifically addressed judges who previously released DeCarlos Brown, the suspect accused of fatally stabbing 23-year-old, is that Irina? Is that it? On the Charlotte light rail train. This should be, and I've mentioned many times about like Donald Trump and a lot of the things that he has to focus on and all of that, but like this right here should be a top priority for the administration because you have to deal with it at the source. If somebody is being arrested 14 fucking times, if a violent criminal is being arrested 14 fucking times and being released, then who's truly at fault? The judges, the corrupt left-wing judges. Hold them accountable. Simple as that. So I fully support this legislation, and hopefully the Trump administration makes that a top priority, because that is a big, big deal. And I hope that the administration does make that a top priority. Time will tell. We shall see. Urgent Charlotte, North Carolina residents. The primary election for Charlotte mayor is tomorrow. The mayor, this clown mayor, needs to be voted out of office. This woman said we should have compassion for this ruthless killer. She is making your city unsafe. Get her out. Get her the fuck out. What a horrible, horrible human being she is. She is truly just as responsible for this crime as the man in the picture you see right there. Disgusting, evil bitch. That's who she is.
These are evil people, and he's right, but it's also evil politicians, like the mayor, the city council, the DA, the governor in North Carolina. Evil people with evil policies that are actually destroying communities. So the problem, Sean, is a lot of people, like the rich liberal, they can't ride Uber, they don't have a driver, they don't have a vehicle, they actually have to ride public transportation. And public transportation has become an epidemic of violence and homelessness across the country. And so we don't have a ton of equities at DOT, but we do have money. Your federal tax dollars go to fund a lot of these transit systems across the country. And we have to look at them and say, well, maybe it's appropriate that we start pulling some of that money back, because I don't think the American taxpayer wants to pay for the homelessness and criminal element that harm little 23-year-old girls like this, who are going home from work from ordering a pizza, that they're going to get stabbed in the neck. And liberals want to hide that story so you and I don't talk about it, so the American people don't know that their failed policies don't work for the American people.
This, I'm telling you, I said it earlier and I'm saying it again. This should be the story of the fucking decade right here. This is the most important story right now. It's the most important story for many reasons, but primarily because it cannot be spun by the media. The media cannot fucking spin this story at all. This is their worst case scenario for the left and for the fucking media, and this will destroy them if we keep up the pressure. This fucking story is tragic. It's horrific. And it is everything wrong with Democrat leadership, this leftist mindset, this illegal immigration bullshit, this identity politics garbage, this race baiting bullshit that Barack Hussein Obama started in this country. This story cannot go away. And this girl's death has to be the thing that sparks all of this. Any decent human being, regardless of how you feel about anything, sees a 23-year-old girl just sitting there after leaving work. She's not dressed provocatively. She's not doing any fucking thing. Not that her being dressed anyway should matter, because it doesn't, but we're just calling it like we see it. She's in a work uniform. She's doing nothing. And this motherfucker that's been arrested 14 times just kills her. This should infuriate every single person, period. But do you know why she's dead? It's not because she was attractive. It's not because she was Ukrainian. It's not because she said the N-word. It's not because she said anything or did anything wrong. Because she was white. She's dead because she's white. That's why. And it's disgusting.